He sees you when you're building. It should come as no surprise. He knows when you've been playing well, and now he's supersized. Hi, I'm Joe, and this is Rebrickable Mock 166242, the upscaled minifigure Santa Claus. This mock was designed by user ZTBricks and has clearly been inspired by the Lego set 40649, the upscaled Lego minifigure. On the inside of the mock is very similar to many of the mechanisms that make the legs and arms work. But as you can see, there are significant differences to the outside. First of all, you can tell the legs have been almost entirely recolored from blue to a combination of black and red for Santa's pants and his boots. The hands have been changed from yellow to white, and the torso has been designed to actually have brick build details, which is actually my favorite part of the build. And of course, around the head area, we had to build a beard and a hat to give Santa his distinctive look. And finally, his face is just a reuse of the printed piece that came in the upscaled Lego minifigures. This mock does use a lot of pieces from the original upscaled minifigure set, particularly in the arms and in some of the inner workings, but a lot of extra pieces were needed to complete this mock. I purchased a lot of the extra parts I needed from the BrickLink shops of BrickTrains and BrickTsar, so I'd like to thank them for their help in getting this mock completed. The rest of the pieces I ordered from Lego Pick-a-Brick, except for a couple that I wasn't able to get. I'll take a closer look at those in a minute. First of all, I'd like to see how this mock compares to the minifigure that it's based on. I have here just a regular Santa Claus figure, probably from a Lego City Advent calendar from a few years ago. The distinctive features are he has red pants, a red top with a black belt with a gold buckle, and some fluffiness there around the middle, showing the middle of the coat. He's got white hands and a beard and a hat with a little snowball off to Santa's right side. When we look at the mock, we can see that he's got the black boots, which is what the more modern minifigure looks like, but the rest of the red pants. The torso has the details brick built in what I think is a really cool way. It's got the white part here using a lot of semicircle and flat rectangular tiles. And then above that, you have a brick built belt that is a combination of black pieces, a couple of red pieces, and pearl gold. And you've got these little slope pieces off to the side. This is all built with stud on the side construction, which, if you are familiar with the way the Lego Winter Village gingerbread house was built, this reminded me a lot of that. You had to do another layer of just red pieces up there to uh, to finish off the torso. The arms are pretty much exactly the same as the arms on the original upscaled minifigure set. The hands also the same, except recolored as white. Then the next thing we end up building is the beard, and that's where I hit my first challenge. There was one piece that the mock called for, which was the semicircle with a stud in the center. And at the time I was getting the pieces together for this last summer, that piece was not easily available on BrickLink, as it had only appeared in two sets, two Sonic the Hedgehog brickheads, and there were not a lot of BrickLink stores that had the piece, and Lego Pick-a-Brick didn't have it. So I started trying to kind of think of alternative ways to come up with the same function of that piece. And first I started by doing a combination of one 1x2 plate with a 1x1 plate on it and a quarter circle on the other part. And I thought that would look close enough. So I put it in and finished the beard and put it on top. And by the time I got the head done, I found out that because I had gone two plates deep, the head would no longer fit. So I took off the layer that had the single 1x1 plate and the quarter circle tile and just put the 1x2 plate in there. And it works fine. And really, you can't see any difference in there. I mean, because right here is where that plate is. And when you hold the mock up straight up like that, you can't see it at all. So I don't even know why they bothered with that piece. I don't believe that piece even holds anything together. So, but that was one challenge overcome. So when I got the beard finished, I put the beard actually doesn't attach; it just sits on top of the model, so there are no attachment points. Then you put the head on, and then you build the hat, and that's where the second challenge came in because the mock called for a red piece, an angled and sloped piece. I don't even know how to describe it, but it's a piece that has not been included in any Lego set in about 10 years. So again, not many BrickLink stores had it, and it was not available on Pick-a-Brick. However, I did order some parts to come up with the closest approximation that I could, um, and it turns out it's actually only on the back of Santa's hat, and you can kind of see right here that, in the grand scheme of things, it doesn't really make a huge difference. So I'm happy with how that worked out. The back of his head is a little bit weird, but this model is not meant to be viewed from the back, so I can live with it. I feel like it might have been better if there had been another layer of white pieces there instead of those yellow pieces, just to make his hair cover up the complete back of his head, and even possibly even lower, so it looks like he's got the long white hair coming down to his coat. But that doesn't bother me. The inspiration for me doing this build is I had seen other people take the upscaled minifigure and do modifications to it to make it their own. And I thought, well, what could I do to a minifigure to customize it? And I just really thought it would be cool to have an upscaled Santa Claus. So I'm really happy with how this mock turned out. Um, last thing I'll mention is the original upscaled minifigure set had the function where you can lift up his hat and then you see the minifigure on the inside, like operating the controls. This mock has no such function like that, but I could live with that. But instead, I can just have him hold the miniature version of himself. So thanks for watching my video. And for any of you who are going to do any holiday building this year, I wish you happy building, and remember that today is a good day to build.